Hi guys, Darth Deuces here with another Marvel Legends action figure review. And today we're going to take a look at another figure from the Avengers Infinity War Wave 2. That is Thor. This is the figure I wanted the most from Wave 2. I also got Ant-Man, which I reviewed previously, which is the other one I kind of wanted. I might get the Wasp, and that's it. The Wave isn't a huge interest to me. I wasn't going to complete the BAF, but Thor I definitely wanted to get. After Ragnarok, and definitely after Infinity War, Thor is 100%. Probably like one of my favorite Avengers from the films. He's just awesome. They did a really good job with the character, I think, so I'm really happy with that. Yeah, so we'll take a quick look at the packaging here. And you've got the packaging you've seen on both waves of the Infinity War figures. You got the Build-A-Figure Cull Obisidian, the Avengers logo there. Legend Series, Thor, Infinity War. The packaging actually has a decent heft to it. A cool image of Thor there on the packaging. It's the same one on the other side. You got a product shot, and then you just got a really brief bio. It says, when the state of the universe is thrown into chaos, Thor sets out to protect Earth and beyond. You've got the Cull Obsidian BAF, and you've got all the figures in the wave that you'll need to complete said BAF. So yeah, it's a pretty solid wave. They're just these characters like Malekith and Black Knight. I just have no real knowledge of them. Oh, with Malekith, no real knowledge outside the movie, and no knowledge of Black Knight. I might get Wasp to go with my Ant-Man. And I'm not really interested in that version of Widow. It's cool. I'm not really interested in it. Anyways, that's it for the packaging on Thor. So let's get him out. We'll take a closer look. Alright, I've got Thor out of the packaging. This figure is really cool. Really, my only complaints with the figure is not with the figure itself, but more just the quality control. There's some quality control things, mainly when it comes to his articulation, points of articulation that bother me. But aside from that, he's a really cool figure. So he does come with the BAF piece. He comes with the left arm of the Cull Obsidian BAF right here. So it looks pretty good, nice sculpting and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not going to build this BAF. I'm not really too worried about that. But anyways, now onto the figure itself. He's really cool. We'll get a look at the head sculpt first. Now, it's been a little while since I watched a review on this figure, so I can't or seen any other picture of it, so I can't remember for certain, but I thought that the face, he had the two different colored eyes, but mine is the same colored eyes with a scar over the left, or right eye, sorry. So, I don't know if there's a variant out there, if I'm just going crazy, I'm not remembering right, I'm not sure, but either way, I think the face looks really good. I think it's a pretty good likeness to Hemsworth, maybe not 100%, but it's pretty close. The hair looks really good. They put like this nice black wash into it to bring out all the details of the sculpt, which is really cool. He's got the scars on the side of his head sculpt there, which is really awesome as well. The eyes look really good. I like the scar there. That looks really nice as well. It's kind of got like this black like speckling on the face, kind of give it some painted shading, which is really cool. The mouth looks good. The beard looks pretty good. Just all around pretty good looking head sculpt. I think my only gripe is I would have preferred a more, I suppose, animated facial expression. He's just kind of in a neutral look, which is good, but I would have liked maybe an angry or maybe yelling sort of head sculpt, either an interchangeable head or just had that as a default. Because if you're posing this guy in action poses, it doesn't really look as good as it could, I suppose. Torso armor is really cool. I really like the design for Thor in the new movie. So this is a cool, the torso armor is like this almost gunmetal color, or this like dark metallic blackish gray, and then you got like gunmetal for the discs here, which is really cool. You've got the cape here as well, which is pretty nice. It's a nice bright red with the black on there. You got the black thing here on the top, and then you got the cape, which looks really good. It's fairly pliable. It's glued at the top, and you can't unpeg it, which I actually prefer, because sometimes if you have these, the peg keeps coming out, and it's a pain in the ass. Can't remove the cape, but I don't really care, because I was going to keep the cape on him anyways. Looks really good. Goes all the way down to his feet. I think it looks really good. Got the armor. I'm really happy with the mesh armor here. I think it looks, or not the mesh, but the sort of chainmail-esque armor on his arms. I think that looks really good. He's got these black sort of wrist guards here, which is cool. He's got two normal hands, just gripping hands. It would have been nice to get some interchangeable hands, but it's not a big deal. Then he just got some standard looking pants here, but they look good. Nice sculpt detail to replicate fabric. The boots are really cool. It's kind of like a really dark bronzish color with like a black wash on it to make them look all worn and stuff, which I think looks really cool as well. And he does got the tread sculpted on the edges, and you do have peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So overall, he looks really cool for sure. It's in articulation, and not with the range of motion itself, but just with the QC, I guess, with it. But you got a ball joint in the head, which is good. Gets a little bit of pivot. You can hinge it all the way back, which is good for flight, and all the way down, which is really good. Ball hinges at the shoulders, which are a little sketchy to move, but you can't get them out all the way. They rotate. This one's a little bit on the loose side, like it moves a bit too much, too easily. Both of them kind of move a little too easily, so I don't like that. So with the bicep, this one was tight. I ended up getting it moving, but I'd be careful with that. Double hinges at the elbows, which move really good. But my problem is over on this one. You can see on this side it's all nice and tight. On this side, it got all like warped out, and like this side isn't even connected to the peg. Like, look at that. I could like pull that off. Like, that's annoying. I don't know how I'm gonna get that back on either. I guess maybe warm it up and hope I can kind of stretch it over. But that's really annoying that happened. Yeah, I'm not even sure if that can go back on there because this doesn't look like it could. So that's really annoying. It makes this hinge really loose and makes me scared to even move it because I don't know if this thing's going to stay on. Yeah, it's not ideal. I might have to fool that later. He has those hinges in the wrist that move in and out. I kind of would have rathered up and down because of his weapon, but it's okay. 7 ab crunch is a torso joint, so you can move back quite a bit, move forward quite a bit, pivot a lot, and rotate, so that's really good. No waist swivel, but don't really need it. Ball hinges in the hips are kind of wobbly going forward and back until you like get them up, and they won't really move. And they're tight enough spreading, which is a decent spread, but for some reason they're loose. Like when they're just at neutral, they like to both move at the same time pretty loosely. I think that's just really weird. So we'll cut to the thighs. Double hinges and knees move all right. No boot cut. Hinges at the ankles with a rocker joint. So there's good articulation. You get him good poses, but it's just the QC on him. There's some joints that are a little too loose. There's some joints that are a little too tight. And there's some joints that are almost falling off. Like, that's pretty bad. And I guess it's the price you have to pay for getting this guy online, I suppose. But it's not the end of the world, but it is kind of disappointing. Now, in terms of accessories, he comes with, I guess, aside from the BAF, these 2 accessories. First of which being Stormbreaker, of course, which is awesome. You got the handle here, which looks really good. I really do like how that looks. You got the straps for the handles kind of wrapped around there. No real paint apps, but it looks good. And it's all twisted around the metal part, which I think looks really cool. Metal part itself is in a nice sort of dark silver plastic or paint, which is really good. Got some nice sculpt detail. Looks nice. Of course, you can hold it. Maybe kind of bad if you couldn't. He's got a pretty tight grip, so yeah, you can get him holding it. You know, you hold it up like that, but what I'm now just realizing is the hammer, or not the hammer, Stormbreaker is so heavy in the joint, shoulder joint is so loose that it's gonna fall down. You just can't hold it forward like that, at least not with one hand, which is actually really unfortunate. You can get it up like that, because that's where the joint kind of tightens up at the top, but that kind of sucks, honestly. That's disappointing. Last accessory is you come with this lightning effect piece, which is really cool. It's meant for wrapping around Stormbreaker to look like he's charging it up or whatever, so I think that's really awesome. It's just made of a pliable plastic. I'm sure you can do other things with this too if you wanted to. Like, I'm sure you could, like, I don't know how you'd want to do it, but get him kind of get it around his arm if you wanted to. If you want to do that, that's also an option. It's not really meant for that, I guess, but you can do that. What it is meant for is putting on your Stormbreaker, trying to do this and making it look okay. So you can make it look like a lot better than I'm doing because I'm not putting a whole lot of effort into it to make it look good right now. But you can get it look on there, and it makes it look like there's lightning over Stormbreaker, which I think that looks really cool. Again, if you play around with it better, you can probably get it to look a lot better. But yeah, that's really cool. I'm just gonna take that off for now, and we'll do some comparisons real quick. So there's the new Thor, and I guess here he is with a more standard 6-inch figure on the Bucky Cat mold. Here's the Juggernaut Wave Deadpool. Thor is just a little bit taller than him. Here he is with a bigger Marvel Legends figure. He is next to Cable. Cable's actually decently bigger than him. So that almost makes me think Thor is a little small, but we'll just put him next to a few characters here. Here's the Ragnarok / Infinity War Loki. I think that's a pretty good scale. I think they scale well together. And look pretty good together too, might I add. And then lastly, here is the Thor Ragnarok Wave Thor, which is actually a slightly bigger and actually significantly taller figure. That is interesting. I guess I don't have him fully straight standing up, but that's pretty close. And Thor's just a little bit smaller. I feel like maybe he should be just slightly bigger, but it's not a huge deal. So overall, this figure is pretty great. I think it's probably, like, design-wise and everything, I think it's probably my favorite Thor figure that I have. Not like I have a whole lot. But I really like this Thor figure. It's let down by the QC issues with the articulation. Like, he should be able to hold the hammer like this, or not the hammer, the Stormbreaker like this, and be able to hold it without it dropping like that. That's pathetic. I really hate that the joint in the elbow is doing this. Like, really, that's annoying, because it makes me not want to bend this joint, because it's screwed basically. It's irritating. It's stuff that just shouldn't pass QC in my opinion, but overall it is a really cool figure. If you're collecting the MCU figures and you're a big fan of Thor, I'd highly recommend picking this guy up. If you're more into the comic figures, it's probably an easy pass. But overall, I really like it and definitely recommend it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.